everyone who is participating in this online tour from New Zealand. My name is Mika and I'm in charge of host town in Ichihara City. We Ichihara City have registered as a New Zealand host town for the Tokyo Olympics and Paralympics along with our neighboring Kimi City. A private exchange between Papakura City and Ichihara City, which started more than 30 years ago, was the beginning of the connection. Now, Papakura City has been merged into Auckland City, but over the past 30 years, more than 700 youth have stayed with host families to deepen their understanding of each other through private exchanges. In addition, for 3 years in a row since 2017, Ichihara City has hosted a training camp for New Zealand national women's softball team, and through Jeff United Ichihara Chiba, a J-League football club with Ichihara City as its hometown, we have been involved in exchanges with Auckland United FC. Unfortunately, the pre-training camp did not take place. Also, due to the effect of COVID-19 that raged around the world, the opportunity for New Zealand people to visit Ichihara City was lost. However, now that the Tokyo Olympics have started and the Paralympic Games are in full swing, Ichihara City continues to support the New Zealand athletes. From now on, for about an hour, we will introduce various attractions of Ichihara City, such as its history, culture, nature, and lifestyles in the form of an online tour. We will be very happy if you can understand the wonderfulness of Ichihara City, and furthermore, if you feel that you'd like to visit Ichihara City in the near future. Thank you very much.
Welcome to the New Zealand host town online tour in Ichihara City. The Tokyo Olympics wrapped up nicely and the Paralympics are well underway. In this event, we will introduce many wonderful attractions of your host town Ichihara City. My name is Mami Carter from ANA, a Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic official partner. I will be your tour guide today. This online tour is brought to you from the Kofkuzenju Temple in Ichihara City. This is a Buddhist temple with a vast and great history. We look forward to explaining it in more detail later. Today, Ms. Lydia Barlett, Second Secretary, Embassy of New Zealand in Japan, is also joining us. Welcome to the online tour, Ms. Barlett. I will interview her later in this tour. And we have some people from New Zealand joining us online today. Hello everyone, and if you don't mind, please turn on the camera and wave at me. Thank you. Hope you enjoy this tour. To start things off, we would like to introduce your host town, Ichihara City. Ichihara City is located east of Tokyo, the capital of Japan. It takes about an hour by car from either Narita or Haneda Airport and has conveniently close access to the center of Tokyo. Please enjoy this introductory video about your host town, Ichihara City. Satoyama means peaceful countryside. In the past, Satoyama landscapes were found all over Japan. But as a result of modern development, many disappeared over time. However, Ichihara City still boasts many Satoyama landscapes despite being only an hour away from Tokyo. And there is one New Zealander who loves the Satoyama field landscape of Ichihara City.
Hi, I'm Damon, a photographer from New Zealand. And this is Ichihara, a beautiful place that I have made home for the last 15 years. Ichihara is known as the closest Satoyama to the world. Satoyama basically means countryside, like the scenery in the famous Totoro movie. 4 beautiful seasons. Living history. Mysterious caves and waterfalls. And traditional countryside scenes that used to be common everywhere in Japan. ぜひ、市原の美しい里山にお越しください。
The value of Ichihara City is not only found in Satoyama. It is a commuter town close to Tokyo with an advanced industrial area. Ichihara City is a microcosm of Japan, containing all the elements that Japan has to offer. I noticed some fantastic Satoyama photos in a video. A New Zealand photographer living in Ichihara City, Mr. Damon Bay, took these. We will showcase more of his incredible work later in this tour. Hara-san, a representative from the Ichihara City, will join us from the remainder of this tour. Hello, Hara-san. Please introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi everyone in New Zealand. My name is Mariko. I'm currently living in Ichihara City and involved with some local projects such as renovating vacant houses so we can encourage people to move into the depopulated area. Also, I've been growing veggies and rice with local farmers. I'm very excited this opportunity because I've been to New Zealand Papakura about 20 years ago. And for me, Papakura and New Zealand is second hometown. So yeah, welcome to the tour guide.
Thank you very much. That's so cool that you've been to the New Zealand before. So, would you please explain the history of exchange between New Zealand and Ichihara City?
Sure. Our exchange began in 1987, where a member of the city council visited Papakura. The following year, Ichihara Papakura Friendship Association was formed, and we started regular interaction with each other. Over the past 30 years, there are more than 700 young people visited Papakura City, and as well as Japan, and we've been building friendship. Even after Papakura City merged with Auckland City, our exchange is still going on.
Wow, so more than 700 young people joined the exchange programs. That is a great achievement.
Yes, and this history allowed Ichihara City to be a host town of New Zealand.
Wow, so I understand history much better now. Sporting exchange events began after Ichihara City registered as a host town for New Zealand. Wow. Now, let's take a deeper look into this history in the next video. In 2017, the New Zealand women's national softball team, aiming to participate in the Tokyo Olympics, held a training camp in Ichihara City. A total of 28 players played a number of strengthening matches against the Japanese under-23 team and company-sponsored teams. In between the training sessions and games, the New Zealand players had a chance to relax and enjoy traditional Japanese culture, such as tea ceremony, koto, and taiko drumming. In January of this year, the Ichihara City soccer team, Jeff United Ichihara Chiba, and Auckland United FC signed an agreement of cooperation through soccer exchange. Mr. Hiroshi Miyazawa, the technical director, at Oakland United FC, played for Jeff Ichihara Chiba when he was still an active player. Oakland United FC's academy team held a training camp in Ichihara City where they played practice matches with junior teams of the same age, visited schools, and had cultural exchange experiences. These kind of exchanges will continue to take place in the future. Ichihara City is well known for its convenient transportation and sports facilities. We are excited for more exchanges in the future. By the way, I noticed that your polo shirt has a Kia Ola from the Maori language printed on it.
Yes, this shirt is to publicize that Ichihara City is the host town of New Zealand. And you can see the message Kia ora here. I don't know if you can see, it's quite small, as well as the silver fern, which is a symbol of New Zealand. And actually this summer, many staff members from Ichihara City Hall wear this shirt at work. So this is a kind of official uniform for us. And also there are many host towns in Japan, but I believe not many local councils wear this kind of shirt to support the partner country like Ichihara.
Right. That's quite rare. So I'm fascinated with Ichihara City's heartfelt hospitality as a host town. So now I want to take this time to ask our audience a few questions. I would like to ask a few questions to Stacy Benson-san. Stacy-san.
Yora.
Hi. That's a cute
sorry,
dog.
my dog's here too.
I love it. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And yourself? Genki desu ka?
Oh wow, you speak Japanese. I'm fantastic.
A little.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. So I would like to ask you, so how do you feel about the now 30-year-long relationships of exchanges between New Zealand and Ichihara City?
I think it's awesome. I think it's really good, especially for the children. You know, I'm a teacher myself, so I see the benefits of cultural exchanges. And it's so, like, it doesn't even compare to anything you can learn here in New Zealand to go to another country. I think it's amazing. And I think your support is awesome. Well done.
Wow.
So cool.
Right. So that's cool that you were doing a teacher.
That's great. I actually been to elementary school in New Zealand.
Wow.
And then we did a thing called Pokare Kare Ana.
That's a nice song. Yeah.
I love that song. It's so cute.
So what do you think about this Kia Ola t-shirt? Isn't that cute?
Yeah, I like that you're promoting the Māori culture. It's really nice. Kia ora can mean lots of things. It can mean hello, it can mean thank you. It can mean, like, you can say kia kaha as well, stay strong. You know, it's got lots of meaning. So it's awesome that you're promoting it.
Wow, I like the kia kaha one, stay strong.
Yeah.
I really like that. Well, thank you for telling us. Please enjoy the rest of the tour.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, as I mentioned earlier, we will show the great works of photographer Mr. Damon Bay. Please enjoy the seasonal transitions of Satoyama. Damon-san, a Kiwi photographer, artist and teacher based in Japan. He first came to Japan in 1991 and now spends most of his days in the rice paddy-rich Ichihara City. As you have probably already figured, his photography is mainly about capturing the subtleness and beauty of nature, the grandeur and drama of the outdoors, and mysterious dreamlike world that can be found in Japan. Damon-san says, "I hope that my photos can inspire other people to slow down and truly appreciate nature for themselves. Summer in Satoyama, where lush rice plants move like waves in the wind. The color of sky changes from moment to moment. Thunder bellows overhead while the harvest draws near. Autumn, the season of harvest. Families work together to harvest the rice. Soon, the trees around the Satoyama will turn red and pepper the landscape with a kaleidoscope of colors. Winter, the Satoyama is blanketed with snow. The only sound are the cheerful voices of children in the village, echoing through the crisp, quiet air. At last, spring has come to Satoyama, with the dazzling hue of the mustard field blossoms and the pink of the cherry blossoms. The long road to the harvest begins again this year. Did you all enjoy Mr. Damon's beautiful Satoyama photos? Now, let's turn to the audience one more time and ask a couple of questions to Anne Haynes-san. Anne Haynes-san. Hello.
Kia ora.
Hi. Kia ora. How are you doing?
Great, thank you.
Great. So, is that okay to ask you a question?
Sure.
Great. So, what impression did you get from the photos?
Oh, they're really beautiful. Such peaceful, evocative photos, and he really captures the atmosphere, I think. Really lovely.
Right. So, I think you've seen like 4 distinct seasons in picture. So, is there any like favorite season for you?
I think I liked his photo of the rice paddies with the bicycle.
Oh, the flower. The
Which
flowers.
season it was?
Could you say that again, please?
I like the photo of the rice paddies, the rice
Oh,
fields with the bicycle. One of the first
Right.
photos,
right. That was
and
beautiful.
the
Like,
photo of the children going
Mm.
through the rice paddies. It was beautiful.
right. Regarding the rice field, it's like everywhere in here, and those are so pretty. And then actually, this temple is like have some like renting a bike, like rental bike thing. So maybe like if anybody's come here, you can rent the bike and then like just wandering around the rice field with the bikes.
Sounds wonderful. I'd like to do that.
Right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. The pictures are just amazing. Spring is the season with the most tourists. Cherry blossoms bloom and field mustard flowers spread all over. The best way to enjoy these views is to take the Satoyama trolleys. The Kominato Railway, which runs north to south through Ichihara City, has a history about 100 years since its establishment. The Satoyama trolley is a reprint of a German locomotive that was used in the earlier days of its inception. Every year in late March, the Satoyama trolley runs slowly through valleys of mustard field blossoms in the Satoyama when they're at their brightest. In order to protect the beautiful mustard field blossoms, volunteers from the local communities harvest them and collect their seeds. The people of Ichihara support the charm of Satoyama for as many people as possible to enjoy. That was cute and nostalgic trolley. Unfortunately, the Satoyama trolley was suspended because of the heavy rain damage in July this year. However, it will possibly resume the service this autumn. We would like you to come and see the field mustard blossoms cared for by the local residents next spring. The Satoyama trolley departs from Kazusa Ushiki Station in the center of Ichihara City. Let's please welcome Hara-san again.
Hi everyone, it's Mariko again.
Hara-san, so are there any sightseeing spots around Ushiki Station?
Actually, there are not many typical sightseeing spots in Ushiki, but there are different kind of stores on the shopping street and near the station. Actually, thanks to the Satoyama trolley and art mix event, there are more and more people visiting Ushiki and Ichihara in general. And we've been making different efforts so we can invite more people in Ushiki and revitalize the Ushiki shopping district.
So, how do the locals prepare for this event?
So, for example, one of the projects is called Ushipura. Ushipura is words combination of Ushiki and Pura-Pura, meaning strolling around Ushiki district. And in Ushipura, you can shop around with tour guide. Actually, they are local ladies. And you can just enjoy shopping and experience daily lives there and just get to know people around.
That's amazing. And also, Ushipura sounds very interesting. This might be hard to put into words, so it is probably better to see it in action. Let's watch a video on Ushipura to understand it better. We arrived at Kazusa Ushiki Station on a diesel-powered train with an enduring engine sound. This was the starting point of the Ushipura tour. The participants were a group of mostly young women, some with small children. Inside the old wooden station building, there is the first store of the shopping street. The name of the store is an interesting translation in English. It is simply, "We want to build a cafe in Ushiki." The young master hand-dripped coffee for us, 1 cup at a time. It's time to kick off the Ushipura tour. But not before we take a sip of this enticing fragrant coffee. We follow the old street straight down in front of the station and rounded a corner. We did our best to focus on the history surrounding every shop, street, and cars that passed by us. The first place we visited was Koganeya, a 7 to 8 minute walk from the station. It is a Japanese sweet shop. We ordered the strawberry daifuku recommended by the owner. The sweet paste made from cooked white beans and the sourness of the strawberries mixed together perfectly to create a wonderful marriage of flavor. On to the next place, Azumaya Butcher Shop, a butcher store that also sells ready-made foods. They ordered croquettes and menchikatsu. These were not made in advance, but are fried one by one upon receiving the orders. Here you go. Please be careful. They're hot. First, the menchikatsu. It is very juicy and well seasoned. The croquettes were also very tasty, and the potatoes were prepared just right. We took a leisurely stroll around the city without a worry in the world. Our stomachs and hearts were satisfied. How was the video? Ushipura looked fun, right? It made me hungry and want to eat those fried croquettes. By the way, Hara-san, how many shops are there in Ushiki shopping street?
There are around 50 stores in the 2-kilometer long street. And in front of the stores, there are benches colored in red, which is a symbol color Ushiku town as well as Kominato Railway. You can just take a break sitting on the benches.
Right, that sounds very nice. It looks fun to shop around and speak with different store staff.
Yeah, that's the best thing about Ushipura. And in front of the store, you can see noren, which is goodwill made by local university students and a startup. And the history of the town, the stores, as well as the stories of the owners are written on the noren. So it's a good start of the conversation with customers. Also, anyways, it's so much fun to shop around with local people and just have chat with them. They're good people to be around with.
Wow, that's so sweet. There is a lot more going on surrounding the shops that appeared in the video. Let's find out more in the next one. Please enjoy. Miyama Stationery Store is located in front of Kazusa Ushiku Station. In addition to stationery and office supplies, this store has a fun selection of cosmetics and sweets. They have many items that you might not be able to find in New Zealand, such as blushes for traditional calligraphy and hanko seal, which are unique to Japan. Yamauchi Stone Shop is a well-established stone store that has been in business for over 100 years. In addition to traditional products such as tombstones and stone lanterns, they also sell art stones, which are pebbles painted with pictures. In fact, the young proprietress of the store is one of the organizers of the Ushipura tour. Suzuki Hardware Store sells a wide variety of tools and daily necessities. You can buy as little as one nail or one screw. The store is filled with tools you've never seen before. It will be fun to shop while asking the shopkeeper how to use them. Koganeya, which was also introduced in the Ushipura tour video, offers delicious seasonal Japanese sweets and donuts. By the way, can you guess what the wooden blocks lined up on the wall are used for? They are wooden plates used to make confectionaries for celebrations. Rice flour and sugar are kneaded together. Hardened in a wooden flame and pounded to remove it. The sweets are then steamed to perfection. Even now, they make sweets for celebrations when they receive orders. Even though there are no fancy gimmicks like in famous luxurious resorts, there are little surprises and discoveries to be found in familiar places. The charm of walking around the city is that you can come into contact with the ordinary lives of friendly, local Japanese people. Even for me as a Japanese, I was amazed to learn the new activities going on around our day-to-day lives. And here is the celebratory sweet from Koganeya introduced in a video. In Japan, red snapper is considered a fish that brings good luck, and it was customary to give out sweet in the shape of red snappers as souvenirs at the celebratory occasions. However, this custom is not common today. Isn't it, Hara-san?
That's true. We tend to focus too much on efficiency and convenience these days. But instead, I think we've been losing something more important than that.
Right. That might be true. And it was somehow nostalgic to look at the shopping street and goods in the shops. The fun classic part of Japan's Showa era, still from the 60s and 70s, still remain.
Yeah. People people visiting Ichihara city also find it very attractive as well.
That's so nice. Thank you. Let's turn to the audience again for some questions. Jim-san, I'd love to hear from you.
Hi.
Hi. How are you doing?
I'm not Jim. That was my husband. I'm Roz.
Okay.
Hi.
Rose?
Yeah.
Rose. Okay. Thank you,
Yes.
Rose-san. So I would like to ask you, so what do you think about Ichihara City's shopping district? Are there any shops that interest you or would like to visit?
I love the old shops where you can buy absolutely everything that you go in for, and of course also the sweet shops. We did enjoy when we came over, going around and tasting everything. That was the important part when we were one of the important parts when we were in Japan, as well as meeting everybody, tasting everything that we can't get here.
So have you ever been to Ichihara City before then?
Yes, I came over 4 times. I started in I think it was 87. I came over first time, and the hosts we had were just brilliant. We had lovely families we stayed with. And then we hosted Ichihara people over here after that.
That's amazing that you have such a long history with Ichihara City. And then I'm so glad to hear that you have like these wonderful experiences with like local people, and then I can really tell that they're really nice and sweet. So thank you for sharing your experiences. That was so sweet. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to the next part of the tour. The history and culture of Ichihara City. I told you this temple, where we were streaming this online tour, is a Buddhist temple. About 500 years ago, it was a mountain castle built by a samurai. Driving from the center of Ichihara City, you will suddenly see a row of tall cedar trees. It is as if you were entering the world separated from your daily life. After crossing the line of cedar trees, you came to a Buddhist temple, Kofkuzenju, in the middle of a small mountain. This temple was established in the late 17th century, about 350 years ago. As a testament to its long history, the temple grounds are lined with various stone monuments and statues which harmonize with the surrounding trees. In fact, before this temple was built, this place was part of the castle. The name of the castle is called Saze Castle. It is believed that the first pavilions were built here in the 11th century or later, but the mountain castle that remains today was built in the 15th and 16th centuries. At that time, Japan was in the middle of the Warring State period, which was a time of strife with samurai factions in fierce conflict. In the middle of the 16th century, the lord of Saze Castle, Saze Saburo Kuninobu, was killed and the castle burned to the ground. After that, Kofkuzenju Temple was established, and the descendants of the deceased lord have been protecting the temple ever since. After hundreds of years, the ruins of the castle still stand as they did in the past, watching over the entire Ichihara city. The castle's groundwork remains intact as it was built 500 years ago. There is a powerful sense of history here. There are also many Japanese traditional and cultural goods in the main hall of the temple. Despite the history, this temple still offers new attractions for younger generations. Here in Kofkuzenju Temple, you can join a 20-minute zazen experience and a yoga lesson by a professional instructor. On top of that, there is a popular cafe called Zuiko, which provides pizzas, pasta, and curry made with local ingredients. In front of the open terrace, there is an English garden with different flowers blooming from spring to autumn, catching the eyes of visitors. It was an unexpected combination to find an English garden and a Western cafe in a Buddhist temple. Actually, there is one more thing to experience in this temple, a tea ceremony. I will show you how I tried it yesterday in the next video. The tea ceremony is a way to learn how to harmonize with nature and respect people and things through making and tasting green tea. The tea ceremony at Kofkuzenju Temple is conducted in relay style using chairs, so even visitors who have never sat on a floor in the traditional Japanese style can easily experience it. Japanese sweets are served before the tea ceremony. This shape is based on the Chinese bellflower, which blooms in late August through September. This Japanese sweet is made of a smooth bean paste and rice flour. You can enjoy the sweet, elegant flavor through sight and taste. The tea ceremony is not just a ceremony of drinking tea and eating sweets. The master of the tea ceremony chooses the hanging scrolls, vases, flowers, and everything else that will be displayed in the tea room after carefully considering the purpose of entertaining the guest. The guest must be educated enough to understand these things. However, first-timers do not need to worry about such details. Savor the tea and sweets with a peaceful mind and a sense of gratitude. In this sharpened space of silence, the spirit that Japanese people have always cherished resides. That was a therapeutic experience for me. That was really calm, and then it felt like almost a meditation. I was able to enjoy a ceremony a lot. It's not very common for Japanese people to experience a real Japanese tea ceremony in their daily lives, so it still felt new even to me. Also, this makes me want to learn more about intricacies of preparing the tea ceremonies and how to do all the motions correctly. Now, let's turn it back to the audience for some questions. Stacy Benson-san, I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, Stacey, you're right.
Oh, Stacy-san, thank you. So, is that okay to ask you a question?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So, what did you think of Ichihara City's history and the tea ceremony?
I love tea, like you sold me. I love the traditional ones. I haven't been to Japan, but I'd love to go. And I've done a Chinese tea ceremony before, and it just brought back all the memories of that, like all the traditional teas. I love the little sweet with the flour. I think that was so awesome. Like people are so creative with their ideas. I think it's awesome. Really cool.
Right. The sweet was really good. That sweet just right, and then I really loved it. It's really enjoyable to see too. And then, like, to be honest, I thought I was like, before I do this ceremony thing, I thought I was going to be very like ritual and then like strict in manner and then like intense atmosphere or something. But like that was actually really relaxing and like just appreciate this like atmosphere there. So like maybe next time you come here, well, this is going to be your first time to come to visit Japan, right?
I'm really excited. I was going to ask you, do you know any updates of when tourists might be able to come to the country?
may I ask you again?
I was going to ask you, do you know any updates from the government when tourists might be allowed to come into the country to visit?
Oh, I think it depends on like vaccines and like other elements too. So like I'm not really sure, and then I can't really like tell the exact answer. But hopefully it's gonna go back soon. Sorry that I can't really like tell you the exact answer for this.
No, that's okay.
All right, like, did you want to come here in the winter time?
Anytime. I'm really excited. I'm trying to learn Japanese at the moment so that I can, when I do go, have an easier time. So yeah, it'll be good. I love seeing these videos. They're really cool just to get a taste of what Japan is actually like.
Oh, that really makes me like happy. And like when you come here next time, like whenever the time the country is gonna open back, I really hope you to like put that tea ceremony in your like itinerary, and then I really think that you will enjoy it.
Yeah, I really want to see a taiko performance as well.
Right.
I do taiko drumming, and I would love to see it live.
Right. Have you ever seen this taiko drumming performance here?
Yes, a little bit.
Was that cool?
It's cool. It's pretty cool, but I never tried.
Maybe you can see it like taiko drumming too here next time.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be good.
Well, thank you for like answering our questions twice, Stacy-san. I
No
really
problem.
appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so I'd love to ask the same questions to Tomo-san. Tomo-san.
I'm Tomo from the New Zealand Embassy, Tokyo, Japan.
Oh wow, you're from the embassy then?
I am.
So you work at the embassy then?
I work at the embassy.
Right. Cool. So is that okay to ask the same questions? Like, what did you think of Ichihara City's history and then the tea ceremony?
It was very fascinating. Actually, I have visited Ichihara City a number of occasions with my ambassadors and my chargés, and also a few of my colleagues from the embassy have visited Ichihara quite recently to watch the soccer games prior to leading up to the Tokyo Olympics. And our embassy staffs have been really looked after well by the city officials. And I have actually visited not only the main parts of the city, but also rural areas as well. And I have even visited Elephant Park. So there are so many places Ichihara can offer, and it's worth visiting. So I strongly recommend all the New Zealanders to visit Ichihara next time you're back in Japan.
Wow. Like, thank you for a sweet message. You're like ambassador here. Thank you. So like we didn't really like mention about this zoo park. Do you know any like further information of that?
Yeah. Actually, the elephant park is one of my favorite places to visit. I've been grew up in Ichihara City and visiting the elephant park many times. We used to feed them carrot to zebras and to the zoo, to the elephants. So yeah, it's a good place. And also there is a good pizza shop near Takataki Lake as well. I don't know if you visited the restaurant, Bosso. So you can taste the good pizzas there as well. So yeah, please come visit to Ichihara again.
Wow, we got some more information like the zoo park and then the pizza shops next to it, or close to it.
I see.
Well, thank you both of them. Thank you both of you. Like, thank you so much, Tomo-san. That was really sweet comment.
My pleasure.
Okay, now we have introduced some, we have introduced some of the attractions of Ichihara City, but there is still more to go. Look out for them in the next video. In the Yoro River Basin, in the southern part of Ichihara City, you can see a geological formation that is over 770,000 years old. much older than the 500 years before Sazu Castle was built, where Kofkuzenju Temple is located. Commonly known as Shibanian, the land was once at the bottom of the sea, but was pushed upward by rapid tectonic movement and is now visible before our eyes. This geological formation is rare in the world and used to visit it once. There are 33 golf courses in Ichihara City, the largest number in Japan. With convenient access from the Tokyo metropolitan area, 1.67 million people visit the city every year. We highly recommend escaping the busyness of the city by visiting Ichihara City to enjoy a round of golf. Among the many shrines in Ichihara City, the Mishima Shrine is the one that maintains a particularly quiet atmosphere. It was built here at the end of the 16th century and has a history of over 500 years. On the side of the main entrance to the shrine are a pair of stone guardian dogs erected in the early 19th century. The pillars of the worship hall are decorated with kibana, which means wooden noses, giving the shrine a simple but solemn look. It is the perfect place to forget the hustle and bustle of the city and spend some quiet time surrounded by rich history. Let's turn back the hands of the clock to the present day. The Ichihara Art Mix is an attempt to use the power of art to solve the problems facing Japan today, using the beautiful Satoyama as a stage. An elementary school that was closed due to a declining population has been turned into a stage for creative activities. Scrap Island that should have been thrown away is transformed into contemporary art. A train running through Satoyama becomes a stage for theater. At the first art mix held in 2014, the work Mori Radio Station received a high prize and is still being preserved. Inside the work, there is a radio that can transmit the activities of various animals from the nearby forest, creating a space where visitors can experience the breath of nature. I would like to listen to the sound of the forest on the radio. The third Ichihara Art Mix was planned in 2020, but it was postponed because of COVID-19. I hope that the situation comes down soon so that the beautiful artwork can decorate the Satoyama in Ichihara City again. So, are you enjoying this online tour so far? Ichihara City is a city full of classic goods and culture that Japanese people have loved for a long time. In the last video, please enjoy a comprehensive edition of all the Ichihara City's attractions. Keep your eyes peeled for what we have introduced so far. happiness from Ichihara City. Well, this wraps up all the contents for the online tour. Let's go to the audience one more time. Anne Hain-san. Hi again.
Hi again.
So, are there any places you would like to visit in Ichihara City? Well,
Yeah, I would love to visit the castle, and also the old I don't know, I didn't understand completely what it was. Was it a rock formation that had been uplifted from under the sea thousands of years ago? I'm not sure if it was a natural formation or something man-made.
I think that's a natural formation, right? That the geographic formation things in a video, right?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Well, that's natural then.
Yeah. Yeah, but I would love to visit the castle and the sweet shop. And a tea shop.
Right, like there are so many things going on here. The castle itself is like not here anymore, but instead of that, like there is like a huge temple in like a very big land. So like you can really enjoy and like stroll around this temple and like get those like all these experiences, such as like, as I mentioned, like yoga, tea ceremony, and then like the zazen experiences. So I'm sure that's going to be fun. Is there any comment for her?
Yeah, I think yes. You should definitely visit Ichihara and enjoy Ushipura as well. And I would recommend also the Forest of Cold. If you like go camping, you can just go camping there and then do barbecue and stuff. So yeah, there are so many things to do around that area.
I would also like to visit the elephant park.
Elephant park.
Right.
Everyone likes the elephant.
I've heard that those elephants can like draw the pictures or something on a paper.
They are very talented.
So they're very talented elephants then.
I saw that online, and to prepare for today, I looked on Google Maps, and I went to see where Ichihara was, and I found the elephant park online. Yeah, it looked quite really interesting.
Lovely. That's so sweet that you searched the place in a Google map. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ansan. So next, I would like to ask Rod-san, the wife of Jim. Rod-san.
Hi.
Hi again.
Hi again.
So any further thought or impressions from these tours? Well, like big or smaller, doesn't matter.
Any questions? Sorry.
Any like thoughts or impressions from these online tours?
I just love the age of things in Japan. We had some boys stay with us in Papakura one time, and our oldest building is the sugar refinery. And it was at that stage about 110 years old or just 100 years old. And they laughed when I said, that's our oldest building in Auckland. The age of everything and the blossoms, things like that, as well as the food, but also the people we met were so friendly and lovely and helpful. That's what some of the things I remember.
Oh, right. Regarding flowers, like there's so much flowers and the blossoms and like field master flowers. They're really pretty, especially in the springtime. Yeah. So I'm not sure if you've been here like in a springtime, but
yes.
So you've seen those things then?
The blossoms were magnificent. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Have you seen those blossoms still?
Yes. One of my favorite seasons, the spring. Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm the only one who haven't really seen like the spring season in here, so I kind of need to watch that next time.
We have to.
Right.
Yes.
Well, Rod-san, thank you so much, and say hi to your husband Jim-san too.
I will. Oh, and one more thing. I contacted Jan Hawkins, and she was unable to mute or find the mute button on her laptop. So she's listening and watching though. She is.
Right. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
telling us.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. So, Hara-san, on behalf of Ichihara City citizens, please give our guests from New Zealand a send-off message.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for joining our online tour today. It was so fun for me as well. We, the citizens of Ichihara City, have been able to share our culture and values with you through the registration of host town as well as over the past 30 years. I hope that we can continue respecting diversity and deepening our mutual trust. Unfortunately, this time, we haven't been able to host a pre-Olympic training camp here in Ichihara, but we've been supporting the New Zealand athletes throughout the Olympics and current Paralympics as well. We wish them all the best, and please come visit Japan as well as Ichihara. We are looking forward to seeing you all here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hara-san. So now, Ms. Lydia Barlott, Second Secretary, Embassy of New Zealand in Japan. How did you enjoy this online tour?
Oh. Yes, hello, thank you. 今日のイベントに参加させていただきありがとうございました。First of all, I just want to apologize for my background. I'm in the car.
Oh, good.
So
okay.
I'll speak loudly and hope you can hear me. Thank you so much for this event. It has been fantastic. The reason I'm in a car at the moment is I'm going hiking and camping, which I love to do. And when I saw all of the nature on the videos, I knew that Ichihara was a place I had to go to very soon. I've actually went to Ichihara recently to attend the soccer game between the New Zealand and Australian football teams for the Olympics. And it was fantastic. The people were so lovely. And people are at the heart of the relationship between Japan and New Zealand. So we so appreciate our long relationship with Ichihara, and we look forward to when borders reopen so that people-to-people links between Ichihara and New Zealand can continue. And yeah, we're really excited for that. And the videos were fantastic. As my wonderful colleague Tomo-san knows, food is my favorite thing. I'm always eating. So when I saw the food at the butchers and the pizza and the sweets, I knew that it was a place I had to go to. And I also love the Kia ora uniform. It's fantastic that the people at the City Council wear it. And we're so proud to have you as one of the cities that we have such a close relationship with. And thank you for being a host city for our athletes. Unfortunately, things didn't quite end up how we wanted to, but our athletes have definitely felt your support, and we thank you so much. And even though I'm currently traveling, it was definitely a priority to participate in this event, and I'm so thankful that I did. So thank you for the wonderful time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming in for all the elements that we introduced for you. That was really sweet message. It's only 1 hour from Tokyo by the train. Anyway, so maybe you should come visit here to escape this Tokyo urban business environment, and then just enjoy this nature for your relax and
Yes.
Just having fun here.
I'm on my way. The Satoyama videos were amazing, so I'm definitely on my way.
People in Ichihara will be very happy to hear that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, lastly, we would like to take a commemorative photos with everyone. If your camera is off, please turn it on. Just in case, please switch from speaker view to gallery view. The option is on the upper right-hand side of your Zoom screen. We will give it a few seconds to make sure everybody is prepared. Great. So now, everyone, are you ready? If you're ready, please wave at me. Great, thank you. So now, 3, 2, 1, smile. Great, lovely. Thank you very much. I think that was going to be a really amazing photo. I'm really looking forward to see it later. All right. So at the end of this online tour, you will watch a support message video from your host town, which was co-produced by 16 different autonomous bodies last year. The song is a national folk song, Tutine Mainawi. Thank you all for joining the New Zealand host town online tour in Ichihara City. Have a wonderful day. Kakite ano!
Tutti la maina